Ever wondered about the mind-boggling wealth of Russian oligarchs? Today, we're diving into the intriguing world of these individuals and unraveling the secrets behind the insane wealth of the Russian oligarchs. Before we dive into the fascinating details, don't forget to hit the like button if you're excited to explore the intriguing world of Russian oligarchs. And of course, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into captivating topics. Now, let's unravel the secrets behind the insane wealth of the Russian oligarchs. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked a monumental shift for Russia, propelling the nation into a period of profound transformation and economic reconfiguration. The aftermath witnessed the emergence of a cadre of influential individuals who would come to be known as oligarchs, their ascendancy becoming a defining feature of post-Soviet Russia. In the intricate landscape of the 1990s, Russia embarked on a daring experiment, transitioning from a tightly controlled, state-driven economy to a free market system through the mechanism of privatization. This initiative aimed to dismantle state-owned enterprises burdened with debt and unprofitability, paving the way for privately owned entities to spearhead economic progress. However, the absence of a well-defined regulatory framework created an opportunity, seized by a select few with strategic political connections. Fueled by ambition, business acumen, and privileged access to resources, these individuals assumed the role of architects of a new era, the era of the oligarchs. While the privatization process, ostensibly intended to provide equal opportunities to all Russian citizens, reality unfolded differently. Government-issued bonds, ostensibly offering an inclusive participation mechanism, proved elusive for many due to financial constraints and pervasive uncertainty. Consequently, the field was left open for those with connections to the KGB, allowing them to acquire assets that would later form the bedrock of the Russian economy. The oligarchs' rise was not merely a manifestation of financial prowess, it was a demonstration of their acute understanding of the power of alliances. Skillfully weaving a complex web of political connections across the corridors of power, the oligarchs strategically navigated through industries in flux. Energy, natural resources, media, and telecommunications emerged as their domains, and their wealth grew exponentially. Vladimir Putin's ascent to power in 1999 marked a watershed moment. The new leadership aimed to recalibrate the balance of power, setting the stage for a confrontation with the oligarchs whose influence had burgeoned. Legal challenges, anti-corruption investigations, and pressures were orchestrated to compel the oligarchs to divest their assets or relinquish control. The ensuing clash between Putin and the oligarchs became emblematic of a broader battle for supremacy. As this tug-of-war unfolded, a new faction entered the arena, the Siloviki. Comprising individuals with backgrounds in security and law enforcement, the Siloviki shared an unwavering allegiance to Putin. Emerging from Russia's security apparatus, they embodied a unique form of authority and loyalty, marking a seismic shift in power dynamics. Characterized by a strongman approach, the Siloviki prioritized stability, control, and an unswerving commitment to Putin's vision. Prominent figures within the Siloviki, such as Igor Sechin, chairman of Rosneft, and Dmitry Medvedev, a pivotal political figure, exemplified the group's influence. Their loyalty to Putin and the state's interests was paramount, propelling those aligned with his policies to the zenith of power. However, the rise of the Siloviki was not immune to internal challenges. Internal rivalries and power struggles often resulted in consequences for those displaying weakness. The stakes became even higher with the outbreak of the war in Ukraine, with dissenting Siloviki facing dire repercussions. The oligarchs, once beneficiaries of economic might and political connections, confronted dilemmas during Putin's presidency. Those who opposed Putin, such as Mikhail Khodorkovsky and Boris Berezovsky, experienced severe consequences: arrest, imprisonment, or self-imposed exile. In stark contrast, those aligning with Putin, like Roman Abramovich, Mikhail Prokhorov, and Alisher Usmanov, witnessed the ascent of their fortunes. The opulent lifestyles of these oligarchs were characterized by grand yachts, luxurious estates, and high-end art collections, offering a vivid spectacle of their immense wealth. However, as geopolitical landscape shifted and Western sanctions were imposed due to Putin's aggression toward Ukraine, the lives of these oligarchs underwent a dramatic transformation. The European Commission, alongside the international Russian elites, proxies, and oligarchs' rep task force, played a pivotal role in freezing and confiscating the assets of those targeted by sanctions. The once unchecked extravagance of oligarchs faced unprecedented challenges. Some oligarchs, like Mikhail Fridman, actively lobbied for the lifting of sanctions, engaging with opposition figures and seeking compromise. However, the efficacy of such efforts remained uncertain, as the sanctions laid bare the oligarchs' precarious position within the global financial framework. As these individuals navigated within this new reality shaped by sanctions, a broader question emerged. Could the oligarchs genuinely alter the trajectory of Putin's regime? The constraints of sanctions, combined with their intricate entanglement in the power structures of Putin's Russia, rendered their influence more ambiguous than ever before. To delve deeper into this intricate tapestry, it's imperative to dissect the consequences of the Western sanctions imposed on Russian oligarchs amidst the tumultuous geopolitical landscape triggered by Putin's aggression towards Ukraine. The European Commission, acting in tandem with the international Russian elites, proxies, and oligarchs' rep task force, played a pivotal role in freezing and confiscating the assets of those specifically targeted by sanctions. The once unchecked extravagance of oligarchs faced unprecedented challenges as their opulent lifestyles became entangled in the web of international sanctions. This marked a stark departure from the era when their grand yachts, luxurious estates, and high-end art collections epitomized the zenith of their wealth and influence. Some oligarchs, like Mikhail Fridman, responded proactively to the shifting geopolitical winds. They actively lobbied for the lifting of sanctions, engaging in delicate negotiations with opposition figures and seeking compromise to navigate the treacherous waters of international politics. However, the efficacy of such efforts remained uncertain, as the sanctions not only aimed to curb individual excesses, but also laid bare the oligarchs' precarious position within the global financial framework. The question of whether the oligarchs could alter the trajectory of Putin's regime gained prominence. The constraints of sanctions, coupled with the intricacies of their entanglement with Putin's Russia, raised doubts about the extent of their influence. The narrative became a tale of ambiguity, a struggle to navigate the shifting sands of global politics while preserving their symbiotic relationship with Putin's regime. In conclusion, the narrative of Russian oligarchs, once synonymous with unchecked influence and opulence, has undergone a profound transformation in the face of Western sanctions. The consequences of their alignment with Putin's agenda, both in terms of personal wealth and global standing, have become more apparent. As they grapple with the challenges posed by these sanctions, the fate of the oligarchs remains uncertain, caught between the intricacies of global politics and their historical ties to Putin's regime. The narrative continues to evolve, with each twist and turn reflecting the complex dynamics of power, influence, and survival in the post-Soviet Russian landscape.